plenty of vehicles on the road that get the job done, but there's only one that is underappreciated. Hey, welcome to this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. Now, everything from SUVs to our pickup trucks to even the average sedan definitely gets us from point A to point B and does what we want it to do. But there's only one other vehicle that does all that as well, but, well, we just don't appreciate. Most specifically, the good old minivan. This one being such the case, the 2019 Chrysler Pacifica. This one having an extra check mark of the hybrid edition. Now, what is it about the minivan that's really lost its luster? Well, it could be that the sport utility came along and made us look so much cooler, us being dads or really parents on the go. But one thing that truly has steadfast is what the minivan delivers. And even this dad of four tends to give pause when one shows up. One with all the good old Ingress, the sliding doors, and well, just the fact that it gets the job done. Now, basically we tested this out on about a one-way 11-hour trip, pretty much round trip, about 1,500 miles. And well, what's great is its roadworthiness has stood the test of time, and pretty much we're not going off the beaten path, but more or less delivering people and their cargo. And well, one thing it just can't beat is just what this vehicle can do. Now, before we get into the wow factor, also known as the exterior, the design of this minivan, let's talk about one big feature, which is the hybrid. Now, I'll get into the numbers in just a second, but really, this is what you hear. Absolutely nothing most of the time. Now, even when it cranks up, it's just a modest little hum. That compared to an SUV of this size, that's definitely going to have a decent power plant on the hood, and with that, a lot of roar. But the other big equation to this vehicle is the size, and this vehicle truly measures up, and that's what gets the job done when it comes to, well, what you see here. Now, by the numbers, you're looking at 121-inch wheelbase, 203 inches overall. That compared to an SUV means you're going to easily start creeping into the full-size segment. After all, mid-size tends to be around 189 to 195, 198 inches. Those even feel big at those numbers. This still feels drivable. Now, the big number really comes down to ground clearance. This vehicle is sitting at around 5.1 inches. Definitely making you feel a little bit more planted to the road, and just makes it feel more like a sedan. Now, other big numbers is the width, around about 80 inches, but you can creep that number up to about 90 inches once you start including these mirrors. Cool thing is, press of a button, these do fold in at slower speeds. Lastly is overall height. Not too shabby, around about 69 inches. And what that basically means is, well, anybody on the go that has to get into the tight spots, most notably parking garages, well, this squeezes in quite well. Now, quick question, raise your hand if you've owned a minivan, if you've actually sat behind the wheel, or well, at the least you've been able to climb inside. And at that point, pretty much that should cover all of you, because after all, this is something most of us have experienced and had the benefit and the reward of climbing inside, because at the end of the day, again, this vehicle gets the job done, both in size, ergonomics, and just the overall getting you where you need to go. Now, what I've liked over the evolution of the minivan is truly probably mimicking what the SUV does well, which is pushing the design to the corners, most notably squaring off the edges. Now, I remember my early model 2000 Dodge Caravan, and it started to have a little bit more sculpting. Certainly was a little bit smaller than what we see here. But what we're starting to do on designs on a lot of vehicles these days is really squaring it off. And you see it right here at the back end. A lot of minivans went through the, well, epidemic of, well, being too curvaceous, maybe looking really cool. Well, I'm not saying the Pacifica has gotten away from that, but what they've done is gone, well, practical, pretty much squaring off here at the back end. Now, you can add a little bit of cool factor here on this S model when you look at the four corners, the good old blackened rim. I'll leave that for your interpretation if you like, but just a little bit of ridgeline right through the middle. But otherwise, standard silhouette that, well, speaks minivan all day. Now, when it comes to grille warfare, warm and inviting is about the only way to go. No aggressiveness can, well, fit in with a vehicle like this. It just seems awkward and out of place. And, well, that's what the Pacifica does well here. Just a nice, warm and inviting front end. Really a two-tier system when it comes to the grille, separated by this modest body color. Now, when it comes to headlights, no old school thinking here, which is standard block headlights, but instead the new innovation with a nice bedazzling look when it comes to the outer lighting that acts as kind of a daytime running light with the standard headlights in the middle. Very modest approach, but overall the nice kind of wide look to the vehicle, gives it a nice stance, and again, just reminds anyone from any view that this is delivering people and family. So basically get out of the way because we got to get there and get the job done. Lastly, a lot of safety and innovations to be expected on a family ride. First off is the safety down below, which is the radar-like effect. Really it comes to alerting, but also right down to the cruise control with the adaptiveness, basically allows you to set the cruise and it senses the traffic. Also have cameras up front, mounted both on the mirrors as well, and at the back end, kind of giving that 360 view. Coupling nicely with that are the sensors, the front sensors and the back, that really give you kind of alertness when you're diving into those tight spots. Now the Chrysler Pacifica really just makes life easy, and what I'm referring to, it just starts with the ingress. Now the first thing you're gonna really notice is that the key fob pretty much is kept in your pocket. The only time you're gonna interact with it is either taking it out to hang it on the key ring or vice versa. After that, it's pretty much just you and the vehicle. Now before we get into ingress, let's talk about the two big features, which is the fill up area. Here being the hybrid plug and play area, just simply take the adapter there at the back end, plug it into a good old house outlet. That's going to help with your fuel economy and even creep it over 80 miles per gallon when it's fully charged. Now sweep around to the back, what I like is the fill up area, and especially that the Pacifica does it better than a lot of the competition really when it comes to, well, securing this area. What the Pacifica does is has it locked all the time. When you need to open this up, just simply press the button there on the driver's door and this pops open. That's just one level of security that this vehicle and lots of vehicles need, just keeping this nice and secure. One other nice feature is it is a capless system, making it one less step. Lastly is the ingress. Now there's multiple ways to get in here, but let me give you the highlights. First off, really when the vehicle is locked, just simply slide your hand here on the driver's door, opens with ease. That's kind of the next level versus just the good old filling with a button or whatever. To lock it up, just simply press here, locks up. Now when you get to the power doors, a little bit different. You have a couple options. Basically pull on the handle, it'll open and slide right up. Press the button, opens right up. Or you can simply put your leg right here and it will power open with ease. Now you could easily say the minivan isn't testing the boundaries when it comes to design. After all, it really just kind of a squared off approach, but that truly is pushing it to the boundaries when it comes to interior space, because really compared to where we've been with more of the curvaceous and, well, edgy look, this is just delivering a lot more interior space and overall comfort. And at the end of the day, minivans don't really need to look cool. They need to deliver practicality. Now here at the back end, that's delivered again in the backup sensors, backup camera, and really with the amount of glass minivans deliver, truly no big blind spots, but plenty of awareness when it comes to all the safety cameras, and that's to be expected, well, when this is truly handling precious cargo. Now what I like back here is the business side of things. Again, with people, even in the third row, you gotta have enough room for the cargo, and well, it's made quite well once you open this up. Now for this Limited, the rear hatch is powered, making life just a little bit easier. Just simply press right there. Now there is a button there on the key fob as well that will help you raise this to the occasion when it's raining and so on. And that's really a big point here, because once this is up, just like a good old big SUV, this will help keep you out of the rain. Now what you're going to see here is around about 32 cubic feet of space, and that all is because of, well, the deep cavernous approach really allowing the cargo to go low, and you can of course build up in a vertical sense. Then you're going to go around about 87 cubic feet when this rear seats are laid flat. As for the overall cargo, when you start laying everything and tumbling it forward, well, that's going to be around about 140 cubic feet. Now diving into the cargo floor, one thing I really liked is the ability to have this lower floor and the ability to stack everything. For our kind of weekend trip, we were able to put all of our gear back here, still leave the seats in place, and that just helped long term for not having to adjust for different seating positions or inviting people in. Now if you do need to have more cargo, what I like is the old school days of removing these third rows are long gone. Instead, this void really accepts this seat with ease. And the way it works is basically you have all these pull handles, but this one here, first off, is really for the headrest. And what that does is when it's in place, if you need to lower the seat, you just simply pull that, tumbles forward. Then all you have to do is simply pull this handle here. It's going to rock back, then let it go do the rest. And that really kind of makes for a seamless flat cargo in one fell swoop. Now, the next thing really for this area, again, just simply pull here. That's going to tumble it backwards, and again, go in with ease. And what you'll notice is really just this huge amount of cargo, again, over 85, 87 cubic feet. Really is helpful, especially if you only have maybe the family of 4. This can totally take all the gear, even bicycles, throw them in here for the weekend getaway, or well, even longer. Now, if you need to charge this vehicle up, they have this nice storage compartment here. Even better is the door is hinged, making this stay in place versus some other kind of cumbersome way this thing comes off. But the bag is right here, makes it really easy to take that power cord, go charge it up, and then easily put it back. And if you need to lower that rear hatch, that button's right here. Just simply press it and walk away. Now, while I have the seating removed, I can show you kind of what the appointments are back here for the back seat drivers. First off, you have 2 cup holders here on the passenger side, 1 cup holder there on the driver's side, little niches there if you need them to store your devices. Even better, you do have a USB connection back here. There's only one really specifically for this area, but you can argue it out who needs it, or even better, why don't you share? For backseat drivers here on the second row, one thing you did notice is that screen built in there in the door. That's a manually operated sunscreen. There's one here in the second row and one there in the third row on both sides. Really takes the sun down just a little bit more. And I always imply those kind of those limo screens, but really practically there for sunshade. And it really came into play with our pet that was sitting here. The sun kind of was beating down there on the highway and it really kind of heated things up. That really just takes the heat down just another notch. Now, looking at this particular model, what you're going to notice is the captain chairs, nice and enveloping, but pretty much handle any body type with these. Really nice and sculpted, gives it a little bit of extra comfort. Adjustable headrest there as well, and you do have nice armrests, not just on the interior, but also here on the exterior, really just making it quite comfortable. And this might be the best seat in the house, not only just for, well, the overall comfort, but, well, the entertainment sitting right here. Now, entertainment screens are nothing new to the industry, but this design may be the latest trend. Now, it is touchscreen, to be expected, but there's a lot of entertainment built in just here, so you can bring some external devices, maybe a PlayStation, what have you. The plug for that is actually down here beside the captain's chairs. You can flip it down and plug right up. Now, what you'll notice is really the built-in apps right here, and really allows you to scroll through a lot of built-in, really right down for all ages. Now, I found adults actually doing the tic-tac-toe, and what's cool is you can actually compete with the other screen there to the left, really allowing you to kind of select your basically different spots. Now, obviously here I'm playing the computer, but you're able to really battle it out either on your own or with the passenger beside you. But really everything built in here with ease, right down to HDMI cables and all the headphones that typically you would go with it. The one area where I don't want to notice this vehicle is a hybrid is when I tap the gas, because I truly want the demand of, well, the get up and go. But what's great with the Pacifica is it does just that. Really, when you tap the gas, it definitely can boot, scoot, and boogie, but at all other times, well, it throws some hybrid mixed in. And that's the best part about a vehicle like this, is really it's just kind of forget about what your, well, all the electronics and smartness going on. Just simply drive the vehicle and you'll reap the rewards going down the road. Now, overall, what you're going to see here is a 3.6 liter V6 Pentastar E-hybrid model when it comes to the engine, basically the Atkinson cycle. The 3.6 is, of course, the standard engine when it comes to the gas version. Now, what you're going to see collectively is two motors, motor A and motor B, 84 and 114 horsepower respectively. But all that said, when things are going, well, perfect, you're going to creep up to around about 84 miles per gallon. Now, one thing to note, during my test drive, I did not have time to, well, charge and play this vehicle, so I did notice that the battery was sitting at less than 1% charge. Had I, well, had time to charge this up, maybe I would have got a little bit more fruits of the labor. Well, maybe next time. Ergonomics 101 is pretty much where designers went to school to figure out just basically how to deliver great interior comfort. And it all starts really with the driver-centric kind of approach, really with the huge touchscreen system up above, really quick navigation when it comes to climate, even right down to the knob shifter for the transmission. Now, one thing you'll notice is really the abundance of knobs, and it can be confusing even for the driver and even passenger if they go up to change the stereo. They tend to sometimes reach here. Cool thing is they really can't override it when you're going down the road. But what I do like is the symmetricness when it comes to this area. Now, first looking at the climate, really what you're going to notice is real ease of use. Dual zones up front, really nice fan speed here in the middle, and the various mode selects. Now, the main mode selects are going to be right here in the middle. Best off is it really relates to the screen should you be going down the road. And I always talk about this, some vehicles really aren't integrating the climate in this huge touchscreen. In most cases, it really only maybe the temperature like you see up top here, but not really the full screen. But again, if you go to this allows the driver to really barely look down instead of way down here. Really just look at the various quick mode selects like here, as well as the temperature selects, which allow you to really just grab it and slide it up and down, and even right down to the fan speeds that you can select real easy and numerically. Now, looking at all the other options, you do have shortcuts down below, and Chrysler really has done a great job in integrating and making this system real innovative. Now, what I like is the big screen approach when it comes to the information, the entertainment right here, all really easy to navigate. But one thing they've added, or one thing I've noticed this time around, is the ability to kind of have a dual look, specifically with the map right here in the middle, as well as the entertainment going on. Now, if you need to go full screen on the map, you can simply press it right there, and then you get into the typical navigation. Now, low on the dash, just below the climate control, you will find this shallow tray here with the USB connection and auxiliary jack. Makes a no-brainer here what it's for, simply to put your device, charge it up, and connect it if you need. Now, down below that is the DVD player as well as another USB connection. Now, if you want to keep count, there is another USB connection way down low. I like this one because it doesn't connect with the car when it comes to the interface, but instead is just strictly there for charging. On the left is a good old traditional car charger as well. Now, when it comes to gauge cluster, pretty much standard procedure here with the good old hybrid technology on the left. Nice, huge readout in the middle, and it's nice and colorful. Lots of information. Better yet, it really has that nice digital read for the speedometer when you go down the road, as well as some other gauges over there for your fuel, of course. Now, one thing you'll notice up at the top, the 1%, again, that's the battery charge. Just never got around to charging this vehicle. Certainly would reap the rewards of that had I had time to do it. Talked about the front safety earlier, and that does couple nicely with the cruise control, especially with the adaptive part of it, really getting into traffic and setting your spacing, setting the cruise, and allow the vehicle to keep up with traffic. Now, on the left side is the interaction with the various functions there on the LCD screen, as well as your phone device here as well. Now, it may sound spoiled, but I do like when there's tons of cup holders, and certainly there are up front with one on the driver's door and one on the passenger's door, but I would have preferred a little bit more through the middle here for the front occupants. For whatever reason, I tended to fill up these drinks and needed at least one or two extra, mainly for the front occupants, and mainly because we're on a long drive, I just wanted that extra water. But either way, dual cup holders, nice springy material here to really grip the drinks with ease. Now, this is a nice little storage area. One thing to note, it does kind of lock in place, so you kind of have to press down, then pull back. Don't do the tug of war like I did. It does have some nice shallow storage there as well. For backseat drivers, they will find the tri-zone system positioned right above the passenger in the second row. Really easy to use with the temperature select, vent speed, as well as mode select. That does for this edition of Road Warrior. Now, test drive behind the wheel, the 2019 Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid Edition, specifically the Limited S model. All that said, basically means great fuel economy, great entertainment on the inside, and a little bit of wow factor there at the four corners, but the bare bones, pretty much practicality for the family on the go. And well, that's truly what this vehicle delivered in a round trip of about 1,600 miles. And well, even though it cleans up quite well, it can definitely show its working side with all the road grime that really adhered to this vehicle, really reminding us that even though it may be, well, not the coolest thing on the road, it definitely is a workhorse, and well, in some cases can overshadow even the best of the SUVs. Now, as always, thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior. Keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.